Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, and then my son got involved in he did a big pay-per-view event and totally had nothing to do with me. He booked it through his agent. His agent called and said, no, WWE called his agency and said, send us your best 8 to 10-year-old boy for a pay-per-view event. And James, among 200 clients they had in that age group, was easily the best. He was their biggest earner. He was all over TV, movies, commercials. So we went and did it, and the fans have even embraced him. I mean, he did Extreme Rules 2000, I'm going to say 14 or 15 in New Jersey, with the feature match was steel cage match between John Cena and the Wyatt family. And he was huge in that. They anointed him as a family member that night with the sheep mask and the robe and the ceremony. It was a big thing. And I take him to signings now, and he does as well as I do. I mean, because of his acting career is like the benefit, is the bonus. He played Kevin James' son on Kevin Can Wait for 2 years.
Sure.
He was on a Disney.
Casey Undercover.
Casey Undercover.
Before we start recording, I was watching my daughters and I were watching it this morning. That's awesome. Did you get to see Vince when you went back?
Oh my God, it was so funny. It was such a moment. We get there, and we had to be in LA. We had to be on a plane the next morning at 8 o'clock. I almost turned it down because this was a Sunday night, and I know these pay-per-view things go past midnight. Now, I had no idea what he was doing. I think maybe he's doing a promo, and maybe we can get out of there before the event ends. Little did I know, he's in the main event, my son. So we get there, and Vince comes over and he gets down on one knee and explaining to James what he's going to be doing. Are you afraid of the dark? Because we're going to put you under the ring, and then somebody will tap you. You come out of the ring and you do this and all that. And I'm standing next to James. So Vince looks up at me because he's on one knee. Otherwise, he would look down at me. But he looks up at me. He says, "You must be his father." And I said, "Yeah, Vince, do you recognize me?" And he goes, "You look really familiar." So I made the Jameson face, which is basically this. And he was like, "Oh my God." He gave me the biggest bear hug. He lifted me up. He was and it was literally 20 years since I'd seen him. And he's like, "Oh my God, I got to bring you to the truck. There's people here that you worked with in the truck, the truck meaning where they have all the monitors and the directors there, and they switch from camera to camera and all that." And it was a beautiful night because of that, And I saw a couple of guys that I hadn't seen in years and years and years, like IRS, Mike Rotundo was there, and a couple other guys there. And the green room was ridiculous because at that time, there was this very famous football commercial, NFL Play 60 commercial, that my son absolutely crushed. It went viral the first weekend it aired. It had 1 million hits. It aired Thanksgiving Day 10 years ago this Thanksgiving. And by Sunday, it had over 1 million hits. And the wrestlers were finding out, that's the Cam Newton kid. And wrestlers were coming up to him to take pictures with. So the night was hugely memorable, and successful, and even he's got great memories of it. And the getting up for the plane ride the next morning sucked, but you got to do what you got to do.